Guerrilla Games just released patch 1.20 for Horizon Zero Dawn, the biggest update yet, with a legend for the map, the option to sell items faster, but not really something that we need right now. We need new content, a real reason to come back to the game. Guerrilla Games made a mistake, and I'll tell you why in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and don't forget to hit the like button. It has been more than 2 months since we could take our first step in the post-apocalyptic world of Horizon Zero Dawn, and what an amazing journey that was. This was also the first time that a platinum trophy did not feel like a grind like it does in a ton of other games, but after you heard that last bleeping sound, there was not a lot left to do and nothing to look forward to. Not to say that the support have been bad, totally not. The patches that Guerrilla Games has released have been steady and great, responding to player bug reports and feature requests to create a better Horizon Zero Dawn experience. But right now that applies only to the people that haven't played the game yet or haven't reached the end. There's no real incentive to go back and try these great new features if you already got the platinum trophy. Yaksa5 is hitting the nail on the head in the comments on one of my videos, saying, quote, "This game is amazing, can't stop playing, we want more content," end quote. That's what the players are saying. And then Guerrilla Games responds with an improved photo mode. Again, I love the new poses and the facial expressions, but it's not the main reason I play the game. I play Horizon Zero Dawn to hunt on big robot machines, and they haven't added any interesting features that add to the core of that Horizon Zero Dawn experience. And you could say, well yeah, isn't that the point? You finished the game, so why not move on? And we know that Guerrilla Games is working on expansion to the story, so why not wait for that? Well, times have changed. The standard is different now. Waiting for huge content to drop with nothing in between is totally not what we saw with other recently released open world RPGs. Horizon gets sometimes compared to The Witcher 3, but the post-launch content rollout for CD Projekt's RPG has been far superior. For 2 months after launch, players got 2 pieces of DLC for free every week. And this can be an outfit, a mission, a weapon, and in the end a new game plus mode. Every week you had a reason to go back to the game and get something new. This was apart from the 2 expansions that were released at a later date. Okay, The Witcher 3 is super generous, but that's not the only game with a steady rollout of new content in recent memory. What about another big RPG that was recently released? Final Fantasy 15. Players are also getting new content for that game in the form of patches alongside DLC every month. New Game Plus was added a month after release, a limited time event happened 2 months after the game's release, and free quests got added in February this year, just like a higher level cap. Throughout the months they've also added new outfits for characters. This was not free but an optional purchase. It's still something new though. It's new content to enjoy in the game and not just a new feature to help you with playing the game, but does nothing once you've finished it. I would still rather have the option to pay for new outfits for Aloy than to get no content at all. And not only older open world RPGs got new content. Okay, Final Fantasy 15 was November 2016, but even more recent was Nier Automata, that released a week before Horizon and has already seen their first DLC with a new boss fight, side quest and an arena. Can we have something like that for Horizon 2? Video games are moving more and more into a service model. In a very recent Square Enix financial report, it was also mentioned that they wanted to, quote, add titles that generate recurring revenue streams in addition to one-off sales titles, end quote. Not only Square, but Ubisoft is already doing this as well with their titles, assuring players that the launch is just the beginning and that they have more content planned at a later date. It makes a lot of sense that companies are moving in this direction as well. Games are getting more and more expensive to create, and creating content for a game that is already out, that you know there is an audience for, is way easier than making a completely new game and going through the same development and marketing process. Right now, it just looks like Guerrilla Games isn't following this trend. In an interview from Kinda Funny Games, Colin Moriarty talked with the creator of Rocket League, Jeremy Dunham, and Jeremy hits the nail on the head. He first says that he will not do a Rocket League 2 anytime soon because they now have a ton of players and they don't want to penalize them to get some extra money and add new features, but instead keep adding to the game they already have to keep a high amount of players. And then he continues about this, and this is super interesting.
It's so strange to me how many other developers haven't really caught up to that yet, and they're still kind of in the old school way of doing things, as one release after another and an annualization. I think that's a big mistake, especially the more connected people get And as time dwindles, you don't want to invest your money and your time in something new over and over and over again. You want those old faithful games where you can sit down and just play it.
Now, to be fair, Rocket League is an online competitive game that already has a great replay value, but I still think that what Dunham says applies to Guerrilla Games as well. Guerrilla Games is in a very good position right now, where they have an incredible foundation, there are very little to no bugs and glitches in the game, and everyone wants new content or replayable stuff. All they have to do is release it, give the players what they want, but somehow they are not doing that. At least right now, with E3 coming in June and the confirmation that they are working on an expansion, chances are high that we will see some sort of new content being shown next month at the show. But this still doesn't eliminate the fact that Guerrilla Games made a mistake by not giving players more incentive to go back to Horizon Zero Dawn once they finished it. And I don't expect like free content updates with new machines or a fully featured epic cutscene like we saw in the main story missions, but a new outfit or a side quest or even replayable content would have been enough, like an option to play certain main missions again on a harder difficulty, something like that. Where is the New Game Plus mode anyway? It seems so obvious for this game and a lot of people are asking about it. Okay, maybe you did not foresee this, that New Game Plus would be such a big deal, but instead of keeping your lips sealed and not even communicating about it, it would be cool to have some sort of update like, oh, we're working on it. Right now we don't even know if New Game Plus mode is coming at all. I know it's new for Guerrilla Games releasing a huge open world RPG while first only making first person shooters. It might be that they were so focused on making sure that the base game they released was so good that they did not consider any post-launch content, although managing director Herman Hulst always notes that Guerrilla Games is looking ahead and already working on something before the current project is released. But even if they were fully focused on launch day and did not plan any post-launch content, it still doesn't change the current situation and the fact that Guerrilla Games is not really open about communicating what they are doing right now and what the plans are for the content updates for the game. Maybe I'm just a little bit biased. I mean, I love Horizon Zero Dawn and I love making videos about the game, but if they are not releasing any new content, I will have not a lot to cover regarding this game. While I would love to play new Horizon Zero Dawn content, it's also great so that I can make new videos about it and discuss those new features with you. I just wish that Guerrilla Games would be more open about their future plans with the game. I mean, Zelda obviously released a little bit later than Horizon Zero Dawn, but players already know that they have an awesome piece of DLC coming with new difficulty modes and other cool features that will add a ton of replayability to the game, while we Horizon Zero Dawn fans are still waiting for any news. Of course, Guerrilla Games can do what they want, but it would be great to hear, yes, we are working on a New Game Plus mode, and yes, we have some other content planned to keep you coming back to the game as well. Right now, there's none, apart from a story expansion that we might see later, but I'm really talking about just small content updates that will keep you coming back to the game once in a while. Again, they're in such an amazing position right now. It's like a grocery store that sells a lot of a product and then just stops selling it, although people want more of it right now. We want to keep playing Horizon Zero Dawn, but Guerrilla Games is giving us no good reason to start up the game again. I'm really curious to hear if you agree. Maybe you think that I'm just bitching about nothing. Just let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully Guerrilla Games will open up and tell what the new content is that we can expect in the future. June E3 would be a great moment to do that. If there is anything regarding new content for Horizon Zero Dawn or anything else that is interesting, I will talk about it. So be sure to subscribe to stay up to date. As always, like the video to support the channel, and I will speak to you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. Goodbye.